Okay guys, so we are back. This is going to be a generalized update on everything that's happening with The Punisher on Netflix. Now recently there are some pictures out there that do show that yes, Frank is going to have the skull on his chest. Now obviously I think this is a no-brainer, but there was a lot of people that were kind of concerned regarding this, considering every other set photo we saw of Jon Bernthal did not have the skull. Now obviously I don't understand why people were thinking he's not going to have it. I mean, he's not going to go grocery shopping or walking downtown in New York, like in Times Square, with the giant Punisher skull on his chest at like 2 in the afternoon. I mean, he's literally a target at that point. So I'm gonna guess the way that they handled Daredevil and Frank in Daredevil Season 2 is that he puts that on when he needs to go to battle, because that makes the most sense. I mean, when you see Frank in the Marvel Comics, they can kind of take liberties because comics are comics, and basing a TV series in a semi-real world kind of has different logic behind it. Now, obviously, what we're here to also talk about is the fact that the series has wrapped up shooting this past week. Now, in the long run, what does that mean? That's what I'm hoping to cover here. So we know that about 3 to 4 weeks ago, The Defenders wrapped shooting, and we know that that's coming mid-August. So if you really think about it, if Punisher is wrapped up shooting about a month after that, logic would dictate maybe a September release. Now I'm going to tamper that for everybody and tell you it's probably going to be October or November. Because essentially what's happening here is you don't want to stack 2 series on each other, and you don't want to kind of, you know, take Defenders and put it out there in August. And there is those people, believe it or not, that will watch an episode or 2 a week, and you don't want to overlap those. And I believe when I was looking at some of the stats, most Netflix series, once a person starts watching it, are finished the series in about 8 weeks. Which means 13 episodes, you know, for any given series that's been done for the Netflix so far for Marvel. 8 weeks, that's really not too bad. Now, obviously, The Defenders is 8 episodes, so it's probably going to be a quicker turnaround on people, probably 4 to 5 weeks to watch the entire thing, unless you're binging, and of course, which is what most of us do, but we're not like most people out there. So there's this weird distinction of how they're going to place this, and honestly, as it is The Punisher, it's a little more violent, a little more, different than the other ones. I really wouldn't be surprised if they were to release this, somewhere in October, maybe even possibly 2 weeks before, the official release of Thor, to kind of start this Marvel fall hype. Because once they release it, let's say in November, you're running into the Thor's coming out, Justice League is coming out, there's this huge potential to the crowd doesn't have enough time. You go December, you're running into an even bigger problem because there's still the, leftovers of November, and Star Wars is coming. Now, the crazy thing could be maybe they hold the series to January, February, but that doesn't seem logical because chances are they want to get the series out there and renew it, and maybe even put Punisher into one of the other seasons, maybe Daredevil season, 3, considering that's shooting this fall. So there's a lot of interesting things to consider, but I'm willing to bet that yes, it is going to come out probably October, November at the latest, but that might be a little suicidal unless it's like the first weekend of November.